want to use this opportunity just to say thank you to all and congratulations once more. I'm going to share my screen and then we can have our discussion for today. Great. So, as I said, we have a summer school on air pollution, on air quality and pollution prevention. And today we're going to have, we have a 3 days webinar. And so today is the first day. We'll go through same thing on Monday and then Tuesday. But today's webinar, I am going to just talk about what you guys are to expect during the summer school and also some in-house matters that we're going to, in-house matters. Good. Right, so by way of introduction, I'm just trying to say that this particular summer school is a joint initiative from 3 partners. We have Clean Air Fund, we have Department of Physics, Meteorology and Climate Science, and then the University of Leeds. And so these 3 partners have come together to organize this, the summer school that we're going to witness in the coming 2 weeks. Now, the question is, why this particular school? And the main reason we have to do this is because when you look at like air quality or statistics coming from air quality, they are quite daunting. Especially if you check most of the ambient or household air pollutions, they are kind of major issues and causes a lot of death and diseases globally. So if you go ahead and look at most of the statistics, you find that about 91% of global pollution, 91% of the global population, they breathe heavily polluted air. And out of that, you find that 7 million people die every year because of both indoor and outdoor pollution. You can also find that about 3.8 million deaths occur annually due to smoke exposure from cooking fires. So if you look at these statistics, and especially that there's a lot of impact on our health, then we need to have some form of capacity building to address these issues. And if you look at like our part of the world, I may be wrong here, but in terms of capacity or issues on air pollution, we are still very limited. And so this particular school idea is how we can start building capacity so we can show concern or start looking at issues that has to do with air pollution and address them. So as I mentioned, this particular school, the 2-week summer school that we're going to have is fully funded and is going to be interdisciplinary. Okay, interdisciplinary in the sense that we will have like classroom work, then we also have like practicals. So then we have like a project-oriented tasks that you are going to be doing. So like I said, you have theory, maybe especially for the first week that we are going to do, we'll have some few classroom works where we'll be taking through some lectures. We'll also have some practicals, hands-on practicals in the labs as well. And then in the second week, we will be moving to the fields where we would also have some forms of practicals. And then another aspect of it is, apart from just the classroom field work, we are also going to have like some forms of community engagement, because then impact is very important. All that we do, we should be able to translate all the theory, the practicals, and be able to quantify the impact of air pollution in our part of the world, especially Kumasi. So the webinar that we are going to have is going to be a 3-day one. And today we're starting, and as I mentioned earlier, we're going to look at like today, for example, is just to tell you people what to expect during the 2-week summer school. Then on Monday, you will work with some tabular data in Python. The whole idea is just to give you some small basics in Python programming and how you can handle some of this data with some, especially air pollution data, how you can manipulate those data with some Python packages and what have you. Then on Tuesday, we'll also be dealing with data as well, and most of it will be the NetCDF data. But the whole idea on Tuesday, again, is just to give you some basics on some of the NetCDF data, what it entails, what it is like, and how you can manipulate NetCDF data. So you might be, for the next 2 days, that's Monday and then the Tuesday, you'll be doing something basically in Python and then also data. The goal of this two-day workshop webinar is just to prepare you for the 2 weeks work that we're going to be doing. Because like I mentioned earlier, we'll have field work, we'll have some practical work in the labs as well, community engagement. Now, most of the practical work that you're going to have in the lab, you're going to handle data, air pollution data. We would expect that you do some kind of statistical analysis or analyze the data. Then when we go out to engage the community, based on the information that you're able to get from analyzing the data, you can use that particular information to engage the community in terms of air pollution. So we want to arm you with these programming packages from Python. They're going to be basics, nothing too deep. But if you are already good in programming good at programming in Python, that's already okay. If you also don't have any knowledge in programming with Python, don't worry about that. That's what the webinar will take you through those basics so that you can be prepared. And when we are going to be doing these things during the 2 weeks, you can follow and be part of the process throughout. So again, the Zoom webinars, 3-day webinar that we're going to have is going to be on Zoom, just like we are doing today. And if you check the Discord channel that we created for our communication, you find the link over there. All right. So Tuesday you are going to use the same link. Monday you are going to use the same link. Tuesday you are going to use the same link for the webinar. Good. Now, also just to give you some small information on the selection. Of course, we had quite overwhelming applications, about a total of 154 applications. In fact, we just wanted 50 students for the summer school, but we had about 3 times that applied, which means that out of the 154, we needed to take out 50 out of it and leave 104. Which was quite tough. And that is why from the introductory message from Jeffrey, he mentioned that if you are here, it means that like you were, your application was very convincing, and then you really proved that you wanted to be part of the summer school. And yeah, so just by way of statistics, on the bar chart that you see here, like we said, 104, and the number of females that we took were 20, and then the number of males that we took were 30. But you could also see that males were 109 applicants. So we received 109 applications from males. And out of the 109, we had to take just 30. Then from 45 female applications, we had to take 20. So congratulations to all of you who made it to the same, who made it. Good. Then also, out of the 50 students that we're going to have for the webinar, we have 29 of them from academia, 25 are industry players, and then we have 1 person from media. And like we said, so we didn't have just one-way applications that we sent out or we received. Of course, our idea is not to limit the application to just one direction. We needed a mix of people from different backgrounds. And so when you come for the summer school, you should know that this is the composition. You are going to have people from academia, you're going to have people from industry, and you're going to have people from media. We wish we could have like more interdisciplinary applications, but this is what we had. And for me, this is also still okay. And of course, when it comes to dealing with pollution issues, you just don't need maybe one section of people. We need all of us on board, whether you're from academia, industry, or whichever field that you are. We need all of us to be able to deal with pollution issues. And of course, now if we're able to start with these people, we can get the message going on. Good. So what to expect from the 2 weeks? Some travel dates. So we expect that all participants should arrive on Sunday, 22nd October. So if you are selected, we'll be expecting you on Sunday, 22nd October. And then on Sunday again, between 6 to 7 o'clock, you will have some registration and also an icebreaker reception. So take note of that. And then our departure date is going to be 4th November. So from 22nd, Sunday, 22nd October to 4th November will be the duration. Then that Sunday, we will have our icebreaker reception. So take note of these dates. And we also like to say that if you are to arrive, please come early. It would be nice that we have all of you settle before our icebreaker session. So at least before 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock, we should have everyone around, and then we can have our icebreaker reception started. Now, where are we going to keep you guys, or where you're going to sleep? We will accommodate all of you at Bunny Villas. We have a very nice hostel, nice accommodation, where we would house all of you, all the applicants. Okay, and the place is Bunny Villas. This is the digital address that we can use. You can also find the map location, and the link is also indicated here for us. Communications. As you may be aware, we've created a Discord channel, and we would like that all our communications be through the Discord channel. So if you haven't signed up, please sign up to the Discord channel. All our information or all forms of communications will be done through the Discord channel. So if you have not signed up, please do that so you can be part of the communication. Unlike other things like WhatsApp, this time around we are not using WhatsApp, and they say a good reason why we want to use the Discord channel, because it's much more flexible, and you are also able to section information, information through the various platforms, section various forms of information for the applicants. And so out of those channels, we found that the Discord was quite better. And so we are using that. So if you haven't signed up, please do that. From the Discord channel, we have also sent out some student information pack, which is there. And there are quite a lot of information there. So we'd like that you guys get the information, and please spend some time to read through it. It's very informative and also gives you a lot that you will need to know before you arrive for the summer school. So please check them, and all of you get that information and then study it carefully to be informed. We also have a Gmail account, okay, and we are saying that in the event that you want to send us an email, we have this mail is dedicated for the summer school, and so you can also send us an email, and any of us will be ready to respond at any time. Apart from the email address, these are also our contacts, the LOC contacts. So You have Dr. Ayi, you have myself, and then Dr. Konsa. So you can also call us via any of these numbers, and we'll be available to attend to you. So 3 forms of communication: Discord channel, which we will encourage all of you to be part. And if at worst, you can send us an email, or you may want to call us. Then transportation during the summer school. There will be buses to take you people from the hostel or where you are going to be lodging to the venue. Our venue is going to be the Abojimenye complex building at the College of Science. And so that's where we're going to have the most of our classes, and lab works will be done there. So we'll have buses that are taking you to and from the hostel. But we also want to say that because we can also have a lot of pollution or emissions from vehicles, we also want to encourage like walking. And so I don't know how we're going to do that, but maybe once you arrive, there can be days that we want to encourage that we do some kind of walking. Also, just because we're talking about air pollution, and if we want to deal with air pollution issues, then we want to think about the sources from which air is being polluted, and one of them is vehicles. So if there are days we wouldn't use vehicles, we should be able to walk in solidarity to quality air. All right, so let's look at the week 1. And like we said, the week 1, 2 weeks, the week 1 will have like lectures and practical works. And the day 1 will just be some kind of introduction and overview of the summer school. Day 2, we'll look at some sources and causes of air pollution. Day 3, we'll look at like health and social impact of air pollution. Day 4, air quality monitoring and measurement techniques. Then day 5, data analysis and interpretation. So the lectures, the practicals that we are going to have during the 1 week will cover these broad areas. So just have it at the back of your mind, what you are going to go through during the first 1 week. Okay, so we'll be looking at like, we try to identify, like students understand the various sources, the causes of air pollution, what the health impacts, either the health or social impacts are. Then how do we monitor air quality, and what are some of the measurement techniques that you would use when you are monitoring air quality? Then the last day of that week, we'll look at like analyzing. So when you take air quality data or air quality data, how do you analyze it? How do you interpret it so that you can get some information from it and use it in terms of impact communications? Then we would have from day 5, we'll have like a weekend break. That's 28th and 29th of October. So within that weekend, we will want to engage in some forms of recreational activity. So that is also designed, and as you come towards the end of the weekend, of the first week, we will communicate to you how we will engage in these recreational activities for the 28th and 29th. So please look up to that. It is going to be interesting, and we also want that all of you participate in it. We want to make that weekend a happy one. So if it is going to be a happy one, we want all of you to be part of it so that we can have a very nice weekend, and then we can continue with the second week. So week 2 will be more field work and community engagement. So we will look at, again, air quality framework and policies. So what are some of the policies that are available when it comes to like air quality? And then of course, we'll have our field work as well. We'll also look at some mitigation strategies. we'll have a field visit. So there are some field sites that we'll be visiting, especially on day 8, that's the Wednesday, 1st November. So we'll go to those fields and try to do some kind of work. So these days, especially second week, we will not stay in the classroom too much. And then Thursday, we will have our community engagement and public awareness. Okay, we'll do some awareness creation that particular day. Then day 10, which will be our last day, we'll have project work, group project works and presentations. What we're also going to do is, during the second week, for example, most of the field works that you're going to be doing, you'll be taking data and we're going to put you into groups so that whatever data that you are taking, we may want that at the end of on the last day, Friday, we'll have this kind of group presentation. So whatever you observe from the field, the data you took, the analysis you did, you make presentations on them, on those project works that you were given. So we're putting you into groups for these works to be done. And I'm not too sure, but I think we're going to have like some kind of scoring and also awarding, giving some kind of awards for best groups and that kind of stuff. Yeah. So as I mentioned, these are some of the field sites that we'll be visiting. If you know Kumasi very well, we'll be going to the abattoir. Okay, and abattoir, we'll also be going to the landfill site, Kumasi, where they have the Ebola site, like in quotes, where they keep the Ebola. We'll be going there. And then we also have another field site that will be going, which is Kumasi, the Agromet station. Is very close to the Agromet, the Agric people, their site there. So at the landfill site, these 3 areas, we have mounted air quality sensors there. And as you can see on the left, right part, that building, we have where my pointer is, we have one of our sensors mounted there. And the yellow thing you see here is already some of the data that the sensor is transmitting. So all of the 3 areas that we've mounted our sensors, we have this data that is recording, and these are some of the data that we're going to be using for most of our works. Okay, and then be able to tell whether the levels are safe, they are not safe, and maybe what we can do. So these are some of the information that we'll also be using in terms of community engagement, especially when we visit those sites as well. Good. So this is all I have to say for now. And so I'll leave the floor for questions and answers. So if you have any question on what I have presented so far, please feel free to do so. I also invite my other colleagues, Dr. Jeffrey, IE, and Dr. Konsa. If there's something I've left out, please do add. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I think that was quite expansive, Edmund. Probably that should be most of the details that we need. Just to add a few. So maybe I'm sure I'll probably do that after the questions. You know, some take through on the Discord so that we know how to reach particular groups. If you want to engage the facilitators alone or the entire class, I'll just probably do that. But then let's take some questions. Now, if there are any questions, you can feel free to unmute and then ask, and then you can equally type them. So we take some questions if there are any. Or possibly you could just show by raise of hand, and then we take your question, or you could equally just type it in the chat. Anyone that works is fine. All right. Okay, that's positive then. Then it means everything was probably understood then. All right. So thanks a lot, Edmund. I'll just do a quick take through on the Discord platform so that we know what to expect. Okay, so I'm just going to share my screen and then take you through. Okay. I believe my Discord platform is visible.
Yes, yeah, it's visible, sure.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, so once you get onto the platform, you would be greeted with this. You'll be taken to the general channel. On the Discord, we have multiple channels. So let me just go back to. Just a minute. Let me just get this thing up again. All right. Okay, so on the Discord platform, you have multiple channels, and the multiple channels are created purposely for you to be able to know where to put which information. If you get onto the platform, the first point is the hashtag general channel, and this is where you have every general information relayed from here. You can feel free to welcome yourselves also on this platform and all that. And then from there, there's introductions. I mean, it's necessary that we get to know who is coming, even though we have your biodata. It's also necessary that the entire team, I mean, other participants get to know you. So as much as possible, just put in a line or two about yourself. Let us know who you are, where you're coming from, and then what your expectations are for the school. And I believe that'll be quite, impressive, and people will be able to, let's say, link up with you. Also, if there are any, information, if there's any information on the meeting plans, it would be shared from this channel. And then there are some of the channels you wouldn't get access to, for instance, organizers and facilitators, because you are on the Discord as a participant. And so if you look here, you have a structure on the right-hand side. There's a structure of the participants and then, organizers. So some of the platforms are sort of closed to you as a participant. But then also we have the career opportunities, and this is actually intentionally created, not just from the organizer's perspective, as much as the organizers will share whatever career opportunities there are or whatever openings there are. We also encourage you, if you have any, opportunities, you could also share it. Let's do a, co-sharing, and then, help to inspire each other in one way or the other. And it can always not be too, stressful and too fun. I mean, too tight. There should be moments of fun. So we created this memes channel for, posting of memes. I mean, if you have anything interesting, something that's fun, I mean, you can still share that there. I mean, let's cool off a bit from all the pressure of the 2 weeks of intense, learning and all that. And then also, if you have any questions related to the summer school, you can ask from this end, and the team would be more than ready to respond to you. With regards to information, there's also some background information on the welcome and rules, where we have the student information pack, which Eddie spoke about. The only change on the information pack is the accommodation. So I indicated earlier that, in fact, the organizers indicated earlier that we're going to be hosted at Volcado, and that was on a pending. But as we speak now, the venue has changed to the Bani Villas, and that's where all participants will be lodging. And we also have just some basic codes and, governing the school. So do get familiar with them, and then let's try as much as possible to, not step on each other's toes. In fact, as much as possible, we are not saying there's going to be, any hunt on people just because, okay, you've violated and all that, but we want to encourage that there should be that mutual respect, and that we should respect each other, and then be able not to, violate anybody's, freedom. We also are able to coexist, and then sort of, collaborate well. I mean, in the end, we want to have the whole academia, industry, partnership through this engagement, and then look at how best we can leverage on our various expertise to, contribute to the whole issues of air quality and then pollution in general. And if there are also any other announcements, we'll be posted in the announcement channel. And then with regards to resources, we would possibly put them here. And so that's just by way of the Discord. In fact, the other point too is once you know where to go to, for instance, I'm going to place something in the on the general. That's the material that Eddie just shared with us. So since that's a general information I'm sharing, I can just, at everybody. So at everyone should call everybody on the Discord platform, be it participants, facilitator, or whatever. If I want to call or I want to give the information specifically to, let's say, only students, then I just have my @students and it goes there. If you want to engage the organizers, just @organizers and it goes there. Or if you need any logistics, just get in touch with the logistics team by just, sort of calling the logistics team. All right. And then you can add whatever information you want to add. Okay. And that's it. And with this, I'm sure everybody should have a prompt. And so if you also want to engage somebody specifically, all right, even though on the general platform, you can just call that person by name, say maybe not the entire facilitators. I just want, say, Jeffrey. So at Jeffrey, and then you send the information, it goes to Jeffrey directly, he's prompted. Even though everybody in the channel might see it, but if Jeffrey is offline, he's prompted and then he gets to come back and then attend to your whatever concerns you have. And so that's by way of the Discord channel. And then also, yeah, finally, so you'd notice that in some cases we hashtag some of the channels, right? So if you are not so certain of where to get information, if this information is already posted, there'll be a hashtag that would just direct you. For instance, this was with the question and answers. Clicking on that takes you directly to the question and answer session. And then you can then see what's going on. And then you get to, ask whatever your questions are or whatever concerns you have, you can just share them there. I believe this is quite exhaustive enough. So I'm going to pause here for questions, if there are any, before we move on. Okay. So any questions with regards to the Discord channel? Any concerns, any questions?
Are we sure we have students here? Because I'm surprised that people are not asking questions.
Please
I'm not too sure
that
that maybe Jeffrey is just you and me alone who are talking, because I'm not hearing any of them responding. Please, if you're online, let's hear you.
But it shows that everybody is fine.
Sure. I mean, so it's still going to be, it's just early days. So, we always want to get familiar before we throw in our questions. So it's understandable. All right. But then don't hold back. If you have any question, you can reach us. If not here on the Discord platform, it's still fine. And then we'll be able to respond. All right. Okay. So if there are no questions with regard to the Discord. Okay. Thank you very much, Alice. Sure. If there are no questions with regards to the Discord, maybe I'll just move on to some basic resources we would need. Now, I sort of understand that not all of us would have the background in the programming resources that we'll be using. As much as we encourage you to use whatever tools you find convenient to use, it's also an opportunity to learn a new programming language that could help your work and make your work easier. And so these are the various softwares we'll be using for Monday's session and then Tuesday's session. And that would again translate into the workshop itself. So I have to reshare my screen. All right. So I believe my screen is visible again. Please, can we see it?
Yes, Jeff. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. All right. So majority of the things we'll be doing will be based on the Python programming language. And so in order to run that, you would either need, do we have a question, please? Okay. All right. So in order to run that, we would need some, softwares or some resources. One of them is Anaconda. In fact, we'll be hearing a lot of animal names, but I mean, don't get scared. So he's already talked about Python. I mentioned that, and now we are seeing Anaconda. Now, you would just go to your Microsoft Bing or your Google platform, the search engines, and just type in Anaconda, and then try to download it. Okay, so once you type on Anaconda, in order not to get any snake images, you can just add Anaconda Python or something. And then that will just give you Anaconda download links. You click on that, it takes you to where the repo is, and you can download whichever one you need for your operating system. So if you're using a Windows system, once you click on the download, it does a default Windows download. However, you can also be more specific, go through and then see which direct packages you want, and you just download that. All right. So if it's Windows, we can just click on the graphical installer, and then we are good. Once you click on it, it's just going to be a click, and then you install it. If it's on the Linux, then you would have to get your installer and then go through your software center and then click on that, and then you install it. Or alternatively, you can just, get pip. If you are familiar with pip, you just try and get pip and then use pip to install the Anaconda. Now, if you are unsuccessful with the Anaconda downloads, there's an alternative. And this works on all operating systems. I mean, once you have a Google account, you are good to go. It works on your phone, it works on your PC, it works on any, as long as it's an electronic device, it should work on it. So you just go to your search engine and then type in Google Colab, like a Google Colaboratory. So Google Colab. And then when that pops up, you would have this showing. Once we click on this, it takes us to the Colab. And this gives us an interface similar to the Jupyter notebook we'll be using. All right. So on this platform, you just click on the new notebook, and then it just opens a fresh sort of notebook for us to work within. And then, like I said, it has to be connected to your Gmail account. So you would have to sort of link it up to the Gmail. So if you're not already on your Gmail, it would give you a prompt to do that. But since I've already logged in, it just opened the platform directly for me. And this something similar to what we'll be using. So if you get Anaconda and you install Anaconda, you would be able to get a whole lot of, other tools, and then other logistics we would find useful for the summer school. Alternatively, like I said, you can use just a Google Colab, and you'd have something like this where we'll be running a series of our codes for the works that we are going to be doing. And there'll be more detail on that on Monday. Today, we don't want to bore you with all the technical details. If you install the Anaconda Navigator, you should have something like this. So I just pull the Anaconda Navigator. Once you install the Anaconda, you just click on your startup button, type the Anaconda Navigator, and then you should have a host of these elements. And the Google Colab I showed is similar to the Jupyter Notebook. So it's already installed. You click on that to launch it, and it just opens up for you. The good part of this Anaconda Navigator is that it has not just a Google Jupyter Notebook, but it has also other softwares that will come in very handy for you. For instance, the data spell. If you're also working with a cloud, the Oracle Cloud, it's easy to launch directly from here and then interact with your servers. And then also, if you work with R, there's an R Studio which you can connect to. If you work with PyCharm, it's easy to just install that. If you work with Spider, a lot more. And I mean, you can even host way more items on this. And so that's just by way of the background info on the packages we'll be using, or the different softwares we'll be using for the summer school. So again, we make room for questions if there are any.
Jeff, I just want to add something that the summer school is not necessarily about programming. So don't be scared, or don't be maybe feeling bad about all these stuffs. They are just, again, like we mentioned, some basics that we want to give you, especially week 2 when you have to do some data analysis or something like that. So if you're not, you never know how to use it, or you have never used it, please don't worry. That's not the main thing. The main idea is about air quality. And if you're able to pass that message, that'll be fine. So, but at least I also want to encourage that if you have a laptop and you can come along with it and use it during the all the podcast work that we'll be doing, please do. But if you don't also have one, we have a very well-equipped laboratory that will be doing most of these tasks, exercises in there. And so if you don't have a laptop, we can also use that. But if you have one that you want these things done, that will be fine. If you can already do these installations, maybe you have some knowledge and you want to do them, that's fine. You can do it before you come. But if after the Monday and the Tuesday sessions, you are unable to do all these things, please don't worry. When you come, we can still help you out, get all of those things done. Thank you very much. Yeah, Jeff, that was just by way of addition.
Yeah, that's very helpful. I mean, we need to emphasize that it's not, we don't expect you to be an expert before the start of the summer school. In fact, your motivations already show that you are, prepared to go far with the whole issues on air quality, and that's what matters. So it's just only necessary that we, just have some interest from you, and then we're able to, make the journey way easier. All right, so we'll take some questions. Eric, I see your hand up. Please feel free to unmute and ask your question.
Hello, Doc. Good afternoon. Please, thank you very much for a good presentation. And my question is, say we'll be dealing with, you said we'll be working with data set and all those things. And in as much as we are, some of us are okay, a little bit okay in Python. Is it going to be like we are going to focus on only Python, or you'll be teaching us some other programming languages that will be using it for the assessment? Thank you.
Okay, yeah, that's a very good question. So we have, in fact, the timetable would come out and we'll share that with you. So on the timetable, we have different facilitators, and the facilitators would actually train based on the language they use, all right? And it so turns out that majority of them are already working in the Python environment. But the easy part of it for all of us is that most of them would already have their notebooks sort of pre-written. So you don't need to, code from scratch. You just have to go through with a whole lot of directions and instructions to know what to do. And then, I mean, it's just more like a procedure. And once you understand it and you also want to take it further, then now it's easier to, build or hone the skill. I believe that's your question. So with or without any background in Python, you are good to go. And like I said, we also encourage you, if you already are conversant with any other tool, encourage you to use it. But we also, as much as possible, encouraging you more to try and then learn with the language that the facilitators would introduce to you. All right.
Yeah, Jeffrey, I just want to add that, like, again, the focus of the summer school is not to teach you programming. So the whole idea is, like we said, you'll be giving some air pollution or air quality data. And like we mentioned, you will do some small analysis so you can use it for communication, get some results and use it for communication in terms of impact and what have you. So in analyzing such data, you might need some kind of tools. And an example is the Python that you'll be using. Okay, so that's why where the Python, all these things are coming in. But just have the understanding that the whole thing is about the air quality data that we're going to have. We want you to know how to analyze that data, make some meaning from it, so you can use it for communication or engagement. Okay, and if you have to analyze it, you need some soft tools. And that's why we're going to have these 2 days just to take you through some of these things so you can follow during the 2 weeks.
Thank you very much, sir.
All right, I think Caleb also posted a question. So Caleb, I'm trying to respond to your question. So he said, will there be any registration on the first day? So by first day, I think you are referring to So by first day, I'm assuming you're referring to the arrival date. Is that the case? If that's the case, by registration indicated in your information pack, we're referring to access to your accommodation. So once you get to the accommodation, you need to show to the reception that you are, a part of the summer school. So your ID cards, an identification would help, either the Ghana card, your passport, any relevant ID card will be useful. And then you would also have to just probably show by, the mail, the confirmation you sent. The acceptance that was given to you, and possibly the confirmation, you confirming that you are part of the summer school. And that's it. In fact, at the reception, they already would have a list of all expected participants. So once you come in, it wouldn't really be any of a stress. It wouldn't be a problem at all. And also you're asking, if so, what are we to bring along? Okay, I think I already answered that question. So your ID cards are necessary, and then also just a letter indicating that you've been accepted. The mail that indicates that you were accepted. All right, and with regards to the time that the bus will be leaving the accommodation, so per the program, let me just quickly clarify from here so I don't mention anything from just my head. Just a minute. All right. Okay, so on the program, we expect that arrival and then registration. In fact, for every day, there'll be sort of an arrival and then the registration. So you have to be there before the breakfast time. Now, there's going to be breakfast from 7:30, between 7:30 and 8:30. So it means before 7:30, the bus would be there to convey all of us to, where we are going to take our breakfast. So the breakfast wouldn't be at the accommodation, and it's a different end. So the bus would be around to pick all participants to where we take the breakfast, and then from there, bring us back to where we are having the training itself. All right, so just take note of that. So before 7:30, the bus would be, so let's say roughly by 7:15, we should be all ready, and the bus will be around to, convey all of us. Yep. I believe your question is answered. So if there are any questions, please feel free to ask, and then we are more than willing to respond. Yeah. Any other questions? All right. So
hi, Jeffrey.
Yes. Victoria. Yeah, it's good you're
So
here.
there's
Sure.
please, there's a question in the chat box. So.
Okay, my bad. I think. Yes. So with regards to the accommodation, everyone who is coming is expected to be at the residence. However, for those who are already on campus, we made the leeway in the sense that most of you already have your, residences on campus, and which is actually just a few of the numbers. For those people, we've already reached out to you and communicated to you. And this is based on your willingness to come from your own residences. So that's fine. But then if you don't have accommodation in Kumasi, it is, that's why we have the residence sorted out for you. So please let us know. All right. You can send via confirmation to me, maybe via the Discord channel or, via the email. And then we get to know if you would, you are coming from your own residence, that's fine. But then we also have to ensure if you are not living in the residence provided, we still have to ensure that we arrive early enough for the activities, because it's also essential that we get to understand that even though we've been accepted, we're accepted on the basis of interest. And so certification at the end of the school would be awarded based on you being regular and then also engaging. So it's going to be about 90% of your participation. That's the benchmark for which the certification is given. All right, thank you very much.
And just to add that, you see, sometimes for networking purposes and building that community life throughout the 2 weeks, we would encourage that if you can stay with others at the venue that we have provided, it would be very nice. But maybe if for one reason or the other, you think genuinely that you don't want to be there and you are in Kumasi here, no problem. But as Jeffrey mentioned, just make sure that you are punctual and you are on time. But at least for networking, building that community life, we would encourage that all of you are at the venue.
All right, yeah, Caleb. Please feel free to
Okay,
ask.
thanks. Yeah, thanks, Doc. And first and foremost, I want to commend the organizers for such a wonderful how the organization have gone is very commendable. And sorry, my surrounding was very not loud. That's why I had to send a text. But I'm just trying to ask, just in case for those who have special diet, are there any arrangements for that? Maybe are they supposed to send some details to you, since we are going to have common meals served together? I don't know if you have some special arrangement for such special diets. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Yeah,
Thank you so much.
that's a good question, Doc. So with regards to that, for the meal options, the caterers are actually not bringing just one straight or sort of straight jacket meal. So they make, I mean, especially with our lunches, they are making options. It's going to be in the form of a buffet. So we have about 3 options, and one of them definitely always addresses, vegetarian-based meals. And so there are that, leeways in there. So that has been addressed. And so unless, of course, if you come and then you see that there's something that you are strongly allergic to, let us know, and then we make alternative provisions for you. Also, with regards to the breakfast, if you are lactose intolerant, I mean, the caterers have been made aware. So they are, just like we do at every conference, they are not directly adding the layer components to the meals. It's actually going to be on the side, and your prerogative to then add. That's it. All right.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you too.
Yes. So maybe just to add that, please, if any of you have like some special issues with diet, please let's communicate that information to us as early as possible. So we can have, maybe you need some special arrangement when it comes to diet, please let us know as early as possible, so we can take care of you. But as Jeffrey mentioned, all these things are taken care of. But maybe you may have some special reasons, reasons that you want some special arrangement. Please let us know. Thank you.
Okay, so Caleb, your hand is still raised. Is it the same question, or you are done? Or you have a new one?
Sorry, I should have turned it off. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay, so if there are any questions, any things that need to be addressed, kindly ask them so we can respond to what your concerns are. Okay, and then as much as possible, we encourage you to be here early enough on the Sunday so that we can all, take part of the icebreaker. The icebreaker is a form of network for all of us to get to know, where we are all coming from, and then to, sort of bond ahead of the school itself. Also, Edmond made mention of the transportation. So we are making some arrangements with the taxi rank at the KNUST entrance. So we would, in fact, when that is sorted, I would run that by you and we'll let you know. So that once you come and you mention that you're going for the air quality summer school, they know clearly where to take you to, the Barnabalas, all right? But then, like I mentioned in the earlier information on the Discord, those ones are charges that you are bearing yourself. So everything within the summer school has been taken care of, but your transportation onto the campus and then going back from the campus. That's on the day of arrival, and then your departure is what you personally have to bear. But in your feeding, your accommodation, your movement within the campus and outside the campus during the summer school is already taken care of by the organizers, and then the teams organizing it. All right. I think that should be all by way of information from our side. Yamba has said all that he has to say. I think Vic is here. If Vic, there's something we need to know. Vic is with CAP, so if Vic, there's something else from your end that we would need to know, kindly talk to us. All right, okay, so I'll wait for Vic. If Dr. Kwanzaa, you are here. Dr. Kwanzaa is also part of the organizers. And Doc, if there's something you would want to let the team know.
Well, I think that the two of you have said it all. We're looking forward to meeting everyone. We hope that we have a very nice interaction and networking. So that's it.
Victoria, please, is there something from CAF that we need to know? I mean, as participants. All right. Okay, so then
From CAF?
Sure.
No, not at the moment. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Sorry about that. Not at the moment. I joined just to know what's really going on, and then when the training will be starting. So there's no information as at now from CAF.
Okay.
Everything is up to you, Jeffrey.
All right, sure. Thank you very
you.
much. All right, so it's been great seeing everybody. If you don't mind, maybe we can just turn on our videos and take one big happy family photo with everybody. If that's fine by everyone, I mean, you can just turn your screens on. Let's take one, nicer photo with everybody in the Hallelujah dresses. Oh, family and friends, you're not
please camera on for a second. Everyone, camera on. Okay.